you're thinking of maybe moving abroad, but you're not sure about the benefits, and you're just completely lost, you don't know what to do, you came to the right video, because I am going to share, maybe especially from my personal experience, on what to start on. So let's just get this video started. Hello everybody, my name is Paige. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. And I thought I would do a sit-down video on, and just making a video on what to do if you are thinking about moving abroad. And I thought I would share some of my experiences since I am living abroad. Now mine might be a little different because I have family in Europe, in Belgium specifically, and I have family in the States. So I thought I would just share some of those experiences, because I grew up in the States and then I moved to Belgium and now I'm in France. So I think I have another experience to share with this video. So let's just get it started. The first thing is, me, I cannot speak on this behalf because I have two nationalities. So my nationalities are American and Belgium. And thank the Lord for my mother for this. But I think what you need to do first, or the first and foremost, is look into the visa to the country that you want to go to and try to get the visa. And this specific topic I cannot really talk about because I do not have a visa here in Europe because of my nationality of being Belgian. So it's 100% easier for me to work throughout Europe, because throughout Europe I would not need a visa because of my nationality. But from what I heard, it is very, very stressful. It's very, very complicated. But I personally wouldn't know because I do not need a visa. Second and foremost is, about moving abroad, is you need to find work and you need the money. So obviously you need the money to get a plane ticket and go over to the country that you're going to and everything. So from my point of view is, get a job, maybe a side hustle, and try to save up money before going to that country, because it also depends the area you're in. It might be very expensive. For example, where I am living at the moment in a ski resort, so it is very expensive. If we do have a little card, if you are working at the ski station, where you'd have 10% off, but not every place will accept it, but it's still 10% off when you do your groceries and all that. But finding a job, for me, what was very easy, because as soon as I graduated and got my diploma, I came directly to France. So, and ever since then, I've been working in France, basically. And for me, what's been very helpful for me, where I never had any issues finding a job and everything, because I do a lot of seasonal work, is I am in multiple groups on Facebook where you can post your resume and everything and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. This is you write down what you're looking for, what the job you want and everything. And at the same time, you can also post a picture of your resume, and therefore someone will contact you and everything. Me personally, I never had a difficult time finding a job. For me, I always had multiple people send me a message, say, hey, I'm interested in your resume, let's talk more and everything. But at the same time, I work in the kitchen, so I feel like that's like a very easy work area, working as a chef or as a waitress and everything, especially working overseas. I feel like that specific job, everybody's always looking for someone and everything. So me personally, I never had an issue, but at the same time, keep it in mind, I work as a chef. So I feel like that's like it's always an easy type of job to always find. But for me, is if you're trying to find a job to work overseas, to work abroad, look into the countries that you are more interested in, and go into the groups of maybe the area, maybe in Paris or wherever. I'm sure there will be a group specifically for Paris and everything, for seasonal work and everything, to do that. But from my standpoint, I think to start off, join a group that is for seasonal work. So if you want to do summer seasonal type of job, look into groups for the season, for maybe during the beach, and then during the winter in the ski resort or something like that. So join if it's a Facebook group and put out your resume and just, hey, I'm looking for a job, and then describe yourself a little bit on that smart post, and everything, and I think you will not have an issue with that. Number 3, thinking about moving abroad, is the language barrier. For me, I think it's always best to start off is learning the basics. So like, hi, how you doing, stuff like that, and maybe some words and phrases and the work industry you are working in. So for me, I work in the kitchen, so it's always nice to know how to say certain food in French, because I am in France. So here in France, we speak French. I know fluently in French. I still have difficulties and everything, and my accent is very, very strong. But that is also, I have to keep that in mind. My accent is very, very strong, so not everybody's going to understand me. So also, if you don't know the language at all, maybe find a place where like the majority of that place where there's a lot of tourists, where there's a lot of English people who are coming in. So go into a workplace where they know how to speak like your language, maybe English or whatever, a language where both of you can communicate, and maybe they can help you in the meantime to speak their language and everything. So, for example, when I am the restaurant that I'm working in, almost the majority of the people I work with know English. So if someone comes in who doesn't know how to speak French, it's very easy for us to speak English, and then after a while, they get to the basics of the French and everything. Okay, so the back at the buff, it's the meat, all that stuff. So the language barrier will be 100% difficult if you do not know the language. Moving on to the next point of maybe thinking about moving abroad is learning the culture. And there is going to be a lot of culture shock when you come in and everything. So like, for example, I grew up in the States, like I said earlier, and now I'm here in France. I think the biggest culture shock for me, big culture shock, I don't know, I would say that, but I would say culture shock is there's small portions of food, because I grew up in the States, so all portions are always big. We are in the States, we love breakfast. So everything is like open at 7 in the morning. You go in, you grab your coffee, you can sit down, have breakfast in like a diner. And here, over here in France, is not popular. Now, I feel, now, before everybody in France and Belgium or wherever throughout Europe comes at me, I understand where, like, specifically like in Belgium and France, it's slowly starting to get popular. Like, it's slowly to come, but it's not quite the same. Where we have like a diner, sit down and everything. If we do have that, it's like in kind of like a bigger cities, I feel like, and it is going to be a little more expensive. So I feel like it's not as popular compared to the States. Everybody here likes have to have a slow morning. Everybody comes into work. We all start about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and all that depending what job and everything. But like I grew up, let's go out, drink, grab a coffee and everything. And also another big culture shock is there's a lot more people who walk and not really taking in their cars. And before everybody comes at me, I understand where everything's so close by. What's the point of bringing my car? Like for me, I live in the ski station, so everything is like very close. I don't need a car to go to the groceries. I understand that. But I grew up in the States. So in the States, everything is very, very large. Where it's not really walkable. You have to take a car and everything. So when I came over here, I just assumed it was the same thing as everywhere. Until I came here, I want to say I knew, but I just I want to say I wouldn't knew that everybody walked all over the place, because I still went back and forth to Belgium to see my family when I was growing up. But I just didn't really assume it was so often. But I don't know if that makes sense. But yes, just keep in mind there is going to be a big culture shock, especially where you're going. And especially in Europe, if you come to a country in Europe, and then you travel around, because in Europe it's very easy to travel around. Every culture is different. Like every country is very, very dramatically different throughout Europe, depending on the country you're going. So France is not going to be the same as Italy. And where I am, I'm very, very close to Italy. I'm like 12 hours away from Italy. And it's going to be a huge different culture compared to France, even though I'm like somewhat close to Italy. So just keep that in mind and everything. So yeah. Those are the few things that I can name off the top of my mind about. Just keep a few things to keep in mind for if you are thinking moving abroad. If you want me to make another video of making about things to keep in mind about moving abroad, let me know. Leave a comment. I would definitely make another video for you guys on this. In the meantime, if you guys enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up because it really helps out my channel. Leave a comment down below on the things that I missed, about maybe things to keep in mind about moving abroad. And I'll make a video about it because I'm sure there are some things I forgot about. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I do upload every week. And don't forget to follow all of my social media, which will be down below in the description box. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.